My words today are called A Chance to Check Out the New. Is it on? Can you hear me? Okay, good. A year ago, I stood before you to share with you that once upon a time, I had a crippling stage fright. This thing I'm doing right now, this very thing, this minute, is still one of the most challenging aspects of my job, and it was once upon a time something inconceivable to me. When I returned to church life after a break as a young adult, now with a little one in tow, I was a proofreader looking to become an editor, a field I had chosen specifically because it did not involve standing up in front of people. Last year I said that one day I would tell you the origins of that fear. That day has come. So I think I'm ready, but you know me, so if I do this, you'll know why. Just breaking up the tension. I think it came in large part from a very large dose of vulnerability, hangover received at a very young age. When I was in first grade, our school music teacher, Carol Romberg, who also happened to be the organist, pianist, and choir director at my UU church in Deerfield, played for our first grade class a record of Sesame Street songs. Of all the awesome songs on that album, Somebody Come and Play, I Love Trash, 5 People in My Family, the most amazing, most irresistible was Rubber Ducky. So, Rubber Ducky had a groove that would not quit, and when Mrs. Romberg played that song, not knowing any better, not knowing the rules of school, I got up and danced. I danced my heart out. I kicked my legs in the air. It was amazing. I felt great, and I could tell that Mrs. Romberg loved it. Indeed, within weeks, she had signed me up for piano lessons, as in my parents went and bought me a piano. But my classmates didn't like it so much. From that day forward, and I kid you not, where my classmates were concerned, I had a target on my back. Starting with first grade and really all the way through 7th, I caught it from my peers. Not every day, but day in and out, I was harassed. I didn't take it well. I didn't have the stuff in me to resist it the way I saw others doing. I did have friends, thank goodness. For one thing, I learned to find other targets and befriend them. Eventually, that crew took shape as the choir and the drama club, and we became a posse. But there were many years where I regretted deeply that I had let it all hang out that day. And I worked hard at making myself invisible. So you know, public speaking was not an option. As I've said before, my daughter Marjorie was 3 years old when I joined the Elgin Church, when their director of religious education came to me to ask what I teach in their program. She assured me that there would be no standing up in front, that we would sit in a circle. Because a couple of the senior high youth had sort of latched on to me, the DRE asked me whether I would teach that grade level, and because I knew that others had said yes to teaching my beloved daughter, though I was covered in anxiety, I said yes. I spent a few years with that crew of teens, and here's what I learned. That teaching, at least in that way, is not about public speaking. It's about relationship building. From that point on, called to teaching, I entered grad school, eventually earned my doctorate, and became a college professor. And I've always understood that I answered that call because teaching Sunday school taught me that I could. And you know what? Thanks to my time with all of you these past 2 years, I have come to understand that even when my audience number's in the hundreds, public speaking is always still just relationship building. So thank you for being my teachers. Don't make it harder, please. But thank you very much for the encouragement. Now, I don't know just what fears and challenges our teachers this year have faced in order to be our children's spiritual guides, and I don't know just how they've been changed, but I do know this: they have faced fears and challenges, and they have been changed. You don't get out of bed on a Sunday morning to talk with children about their spiritual lives without facing fears and challenges and being changed. I know it, and you know it, and our children know it. Believe me, when adults take the time and energy to put themselves into relationship with children and help them to cultivate their best selves, children see and appreciate this. Our nursery staff, Julia Ash and Lane Diamont, Lane bridged at 9:15 this morning, help our littlest UUs and their parents to feel more comfortable in our community through their skilled and gentle care. Learning that they can spend time with their peers and other trusted adults just a little distance from their parents and guardians is one of the most fundamental spiritual lessons we can offer our young people, and I am grateful for the steadfast care offered by Julia and Lane. For preschool, through sometimes as high as 5th grade this year, staff teachers Kit and Ethan Barron and Virginia Bahena have helped our pre-kindergartners through 1st graders and above sometimes through all the monthly themes of the Soul Matters curriculum. I am grateful that Kit and Virginia have brought to bear their arts education training and Montessori school in working with our Montessori school experience in working with our children, and for Ethan's able and enthusiastic assistance. The proof of their skill in caring often shows at the end of class time when parents come to retrieve their small ones and they aren't quite ready to go. This is evidence of community building. Our nursery and pre-K staffers are not with us in the sanctuary this morning because they are working downstairs as usual. So please, let us show our thanks to them today as we head down to retrieve our kids or when we see them in the line for bagels. We are so lucky to have them on our team. Our 2nd through 3rd graders, Team Blueberry Sauce, have also explored the Soul Matters monthly themes of vision, sanctuary, memory, mystery, possibility, trust, journey, wholeness, curiosity, with related stories, songs, crafts, and activities. Our wonderful volunteer teachers for this grade level have been Natalie Lawson, Janice Milanovich, Bonnie Ognisante, and Sam Trotter. Please join me in thanking these wonderful teachers. Our 4th to 5th graders, also known as Team Tide, have been exploring the Soul Matters monthly themes also through stories, crafts, activities, and videos. Their awesome teachers have been Vicki Dobley, Carolyn Lehman, Sarah Monska, and Dominic Radcliffe. Our junior high students this year were engaged in a coming-of-age curriculum we call Quest, wherein they blended a contemplation of important questions. What do I believe about God? What is the meaning of my life? What happens to me when I die? How do I find truth? Who am I? With a consideration of history and the evolution of UU identity and philosophy, tied to thinkers and places we'll be exploring on our coming Boston-bound tour. Please, these wonderful teachers were Leanne Lauder, Bob Mesley, and Jim Strickler. Please join me in thanking all of these fantastic teachers. I keep forgetting I'm not supposed to clap into the microphone. So, our senior high youth group met every Sunday for self-discovery through weekly ritual practices and conversations. In addition, they attended the fall and spring regional UU cons to get to know their peers in faith from other congregations. Their special exhibit project was, of course, their beautiful youth-led service in February. Their wonderful advisors were Valerie Curtis, Jack Geringer, Allie Hunter, and Mike Takata, with assistance from Chris Allender and Maxine Lappin. Please join me in thanking these wonderful advisors. And if you are a teacher, if you have taught in our program and you are here with us today, please come forward to receive your gifts from Sue Larson and myself. while I'm thanking people, I also want to mention folks like Will Kurth and Chris Chambers and Linda Harriet and Jordan Struber and our RE greeter, Dominic Radcliffe, who have helped at various points in our changing schedule as we tried new things this past year. Please know that we are grateful to you. And also our thanks go to those who taught in our K through 1st and 4th through 6th grade classes in the Our Whole Lives Sexuality Education curriculum. Our certified OWL instructors this year were Kira Baskin, Liz Goodwin, Kamran Jahanshai, Sandy McNabb, Christine Peters, and Mike Takata. Please join me in thanking all of these amazing teachers. And as your director of Lifespan Religious Education, I also want to acknowledge all our wonderful teachers for the Tuesday night series this year, along with our learning associates who have helped make it happen. Chair Dan Solomon, along with Bill Irons, Bob Mesley, Emily Sana, and Dick Whitaker, and also our outgoing forum facilitators, Jim Kepler and Julia Takarada. Please join me in thanking them for the richness of our weekly discussion series. And while I'm at it, I'd like to thank my organizational teams, the Children and Youth Program team, with special thanks to Sue Larson, the Learning Associates team with coordinator Dan Solomon, and finally, thanks go to our awesome UCE Lifespan Learning Council, Shirley Adams, Rochelle Brooks, Jean Durkin, Rob Geiger, Linda Harriet, Sue Larson, Dan Solomon, Jim Strickler, and Dick Whitaker, with special thanks to our board chairs, Jim Clark and Jessica Tomel Presto. Thank you all so much for the work we've done together this year. I expect I've left somebody out, so if I have, please alert me so that I can be contrite in your direction. And for all our magnificent teachers, thank you for your willingness to guide our children and our students of every age, and to be transformed by your relationship with them. It means everything to them and to me and to our congregation, our denomination, and our world. Thank you.